Hello, and welcome to Introducing Me. I'm your host, Sarah. I started this podcast to get to know other people and lifestyles while discovering more about myself. Each episode, I will give a new guest a chance to discuss their background, culture, interests, or whatever they want to talk about to help increase all of our own worldviews. Today, I would like to introduce you to Laura. She is originally from Mexico and she's now in China. She went to China for a scholarship in 2009 and has been there ever since. And she is living with her girlfriend. And as you may know, gay marriage is illegal in China. So with that comes, of course, some challenges and interesting stories. So Laura, I'm super excited to have you here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, first, thank you so much for the invite. I'm super happy to be here and sharing my story. If I want to start to say about me being in China and how being as an openly gay person in China works, I guess I would have to say it's not what many people see on the media. Like when I go back to Mexico, they picture China as an extremely conservative society, which in some cases they can be. They can be very conservative. But they're becoming more and more open, especially with foreigners. I guess as a foreigner, you have the privilege of no comply with their culture because they said, oh, she's a foreigner. She just doesn't understand our beliefs. It's just okay, like we kind of are forgiven because we're just not locals. So being here has been challenging only in the sense of communication. Culture is quite different and values are very different in some sense. But as a gay person, the biggest challenge is just probably getting married. That's the part. Like I have my partner. We have been living together for almost 2 years now, together for almost 4. We want to get married. We have been planning to get married, but we just don't know when. We did try for a few to do it through our consulates, like Mexico consulate or the U.S. consulate, because she's from Oregon. And very surprisingly, the USA consulate does not allow to do any kind of marriage, not even the straight ones. So at least that was fair. And for the Mexican consulate, they only allow between two people from Mexico. So it was challenging. It is challenging, especially if we want to migrate. Is not the same as if we were a straight couple, because it's in our plans to go back to either Canada or the States. But being here, it's just, man, like it's kind of hard to put it into words, right? Because it's such a different context, such a different country. It's just understanding things in daily life, I guess, that makes it different. Like maybe we cannot kiss, as often as a normal couple, quote unquote, like normal couple will do. I cannot present her all the time as my partner, at least not to locals. Maybe foreigners is okay, but locals wouldn't be probably as appropriate. I am not as open at my job. I do the old technique that you come out to one person and they spray the word. But coming out constantly is definitely something that you do here. I mean, you do it anywhere you do it in the States, you do it in Mexico, you do it in any other country. But in China, it's all the time. Every time you meet somebody, you come out, and that's exhausting. that's very exhausting, like to come out and to explain every single time. Like even we have a person that cleans our house, which is a cultural accepted here. And I still don't know how she hasn't figured out that we're a couple because we live in a 3-room apartment and we only have one bed. I mean, it's like, yeah. And we have photos with like family photos with the two of us and our cat. So it's just coming out constantly, not being able to get married, not being able to get, for example, visa, right? Like spouse visa. Like you can do this in Canada if we were like immigrating to Canada. But in China, we cannot. Like if we wanted to get married and I wanted to sponsor her visa, I cannot, or vice versa. She can just not. So migration is also challenging. Like being here as a two foreigners and queer couple is super, super difficult in the sense of paperwork. In the sense of cultural, it's just coming out. And once you come out, they might be confused for a moment. Then they will be like, oh, okay, they're foreigners. All right. They're just different. So that's pretty much for me how I would like summarize the experience of being here.
Were you already out as gay before you went to China?
No, actually, I came out in China. I always said that people that come to China, or I guess people that go to any other country but their own, uh, they do it for two reasons. They do it because they're running away from something, or you're looking for something. In my case, I feel like I was running away, and I was running away from a culture that was not accepted of gay people. And I don't know why I thought China will be the right answer, right? But anyway, I came here, and I remember that I came here when I was 24, and 4 months later, I guess distance gave me perspective, and I decided to come out to my family, like to my mother, and I sent an email, a long email, like, "This is who I am. This is who you raised me to be. I'm still the same. Being gay is just part of me." Um, and I'm discovering myself, and part of being in such a place as China is discovering myself. And it happened, and I came out, and it was amazing. The feeling was great. I got support from my family. I got support from my friends, of from all of different countries. Like, that's something that I'm super grateful about being here, because even though I have traveled, I have also been able to uh, be close to people at my office, in my life, as friends from everywhere. Like, I know people from Sumatra, from Egypt. Like, I have met people from Israel, Palestine. I have met people from the far Everest, and they're all okay with me being gay. I never encountered something difficult, which in contrast with Mexico. So for me, that was shocking to see that I was coming, at least in my experience, from not an open place as you might think it could be compared to Asia. And actually, Asia turned out to be more open for me than what it was back home. Even in the States, when I was traveling there with my girlfriend, I didn't feel as comfortable as I feel here, being a gay person.
So, what was the culture like growing up in Mexico?
Very conservative in the sense of religion. I mean, it's well known that Mexico is a Catholic country, right? It's changing. It's changing right now, but I'm from the 80s, 90s, so it was definitely more close-minded. So there was no gay representation or any kind of queer representation on TV, news. If you were a gay person, queer, I mean, not even thinking about trans people, you were like outcast. You were like, you're just not normal. You're like, this is not what God tend to like is saying that you should be. Um, so it was difficult coming, especially because I come from a very small town that we knew all of us. So even if I had a crush, which now I know it was a crush, it's like, oh my god, that girl is gonna tell my parents what I'm gonna do. So it was complicated. Actually, now that it has been so long, I have come to terms that that's the reason why I left, because I never felt like I belong. Right? Like, you maybe coming back in one point will make me feel better now that I have seen things and I'm more mature. Hopefully, I'm more mature, but I definitely didn't feel like I belong. So that part was difficult. If you agree with the things that most of people believe in, like getting married, having kids, uh, being straight, I guess it will be okay. Like, I have plenty of friends that are super happy over there, but I just wasn't. I just wasn't happy. I just was looking for more, and being open about my sexuality was definitely one of those things that I was looking for. So that's how it was, yeah.
That's understandable. So, then what was it like assimilating to Chinese culture?
So the cultural shock is can be quite big. Um, I had to mention, when I came to China, I was broke. Even though I came with a scholarship, I guess like a lot of students, you go like with very limited budget. So I was like, wow. okay, I need to find a job or something when I'm there. But the cultural shock that I got and I saw in other people, it can be quite strong. It can be, it also depends on you, right? Like it depends on how open minded you can be to other cultures. Like I think that's the biggest challenge. If you're a person that enjoys to travel, but you are very, very close to your home values, and home values, I mean your society, I think it could be hard. It could be hard from the moment you step into the toilet because it is true in public places it's a hole, you know. Like, some people cannot handle that. They need like the Western style. The fact that they are not, they don't knock the door. Not even my neighbors, you know. Like to this day, I'm still like annoyed by the fact that I'm moving, and my downstairs neighbor, she doesn't know me, and she just walked in to ask about my apartment and what I was doing there. So inappropriate questions like how much money do you make? They just, it's just different culture. They don't see that it's inappropriate. They're just curious. They're a very curious culture. They want to know more about you, and they come out as rude. But now that once you get to know them, it's like, oh, it's just standard questions, you know. It's like saying how are you for them. You can say whatever, like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, how much money you make? Oh, $50. Okay. So it's just curiosity, but it can be quite rude. So for me, it was shocking. We are a high contact culture, high contact in Mexico, right? We touch each other a lot, which, for example, Americans, not really. They don't do that a lot. Even for me, it was too much in China. They will like touch you. If you're too white, they will come and touch your like your skin. Like my friends that are black, they get like the hair touch sometimes. They're like in the metro and they touch the hair. So the experience can be interesting in the sense that you're discovering new things, or it can be even traumatic, right? Like because you're like you're invading my space. You're like, this is me. Like don't touch my hair, or don't touch my skin, or don't take photos of me, because maybe some Chinese people had never seen foreigners in their life and they have never seen somebody different, and they will take photos of you, and people are like, hey, don't do that. So it depends of your personality and how, again, how close you are to home. If
Mhm.
you're too close, you might struggle.
Yeah. So, what has the language barriers been like?
The language barrier. So I am very bad at Chinese. Like a lot of people think that because I've been 12 years in China, I'm like super fluent. I'm not. Like I can read, I can write, and I can speak a little, like for my job, but I cannot speak. So I can tell you right now, from the moment I stepped out of the plane, I didn't know any Chinese. So I got a scam. I got like I bought the wrong product. I remember buying something that I thought was like similar to Twinkies. I don't know if you remember those, but like kind of bread, and it was definitely not. It was disgusting. Uh, so I did a lot of mistakes because I didn't learn the language. But once I start studying the language, speaking, talking to people, life is so much easier. Life is so much better. And if you speak as good as my girlfriend does, she's like she will say she's like a world champion Chinese speaker. She represented USA as an American speaking Chinese in a contest. And wow, life is so much easier, and you can understand them better too. You know, something funny. It took me 5 years to understand something. So when you ask a question, if I ask you, for example, hey, did you close the door? If you say no to me, I will understand that you didn't close the door, right? So in China, somebody will tell you yes. And then I understood that they were agreeing with you. Not that they did close the door, but that you were right. I didn't close the door because they don't know how to say no in their language. It's not that they don't know. It's like it's just a language thing.
Mhm.
So for 4 years, I was like, damn, that was a lot of mistakes right there. Because I thought they were saying yes or no, not that they were saying that I was right. So that can be like a lot of misunderstanding.
Yeah, definitely at the beginning, not knowing that that was what they were meaning. So how do you, or I guess like, what is your job like that you don't need fluent Chinese?
So I work in an international company, actually from California. They do some more stuff about products, and I'm the director of the international department. So I work with all the foreigners in some Chinese stuff, and because it's the international department, it's a requirement to speak English. So that's why I don't really need to use a lot of Chinese because we deal with a lot of other countries. Like actually all kinds of cultures, again, all kinds of language, and English is the common language in the world. So I really don't need it. It's what it is. My bosses speaks English. Like, I mean, the CEO is from the States, so of course he speaks English. My other direct boss, she also speaks English. So sometimes they come to me and they want to talk to me in Chinese, and I'm like, yo, it's your fault. You're talking to me in English, and you're not letting me practice. Also, they enjoy speaking in English, so they see it as an opportunity to practice, and they don't want to talk Chinese with me. Also, I think it's because they hear me and my accent is horrible in Chinese. It's like really, really bad. So they get like, no, just speak English, Laura.
Yeah, that's great that you can't even get the chance to practice because you sound better not speaking Chinese.
Yeah, that's horrible. I know. I'm not offended anymore. I'm like, okay, yeah, they're right. Or even Spanish. Sometimes they want to practice Spanish with me. I'm like, okay.
Do you speak Spanish a lot?
No, actually, I will say I speak 75% English because of my job. I will speak another percentage of Chinese and another part of Spanish. Like not really a lot. No, I kind of miss it sometimes because I mostly get the chance to speak with my mother when we talk on the phone. That's like all in Spanish. Um, and Juliet, my girlfriend, she speaks Spanish as well, but it's her third language, so it's not as fluent. So when we want to have conversations about taking the cats to the vet, like, oh, what we're gonna do with the next month finance, like, because I like to make plans. It's just more fluent if we do it in English than if we go through it in Spanish. So we mostly speak English. So that's the number one language. And I never expect that when I moved to China. I was like, yeah, it will be all Chinese. No, it's actually all English.
Yeah. So how did you meet your girlfriend? Because she's from the States, you're from Mexico, you're both in China.
Yeah. So actually we met like, wow, like 4 years ago, a little more than 4 years ago. I had a girlfriend at the time when we met, and we met in a Halloween party. And I organize because you don't have a lot of queer people in China, right? Like foreigners at least. So I organized a private group for only queer women. And one of the organizers of this Halloween party knew Juliet, and she decided like, oh, Juliet is new in town. I should introduce to Laura, so Laura can like introduce more people to her, right? Like the queer community. And she introduced me, and I remember thinking when I saw her, like, you look like you need a hug. Like I said that to her when I met her, and I gave her a hug. Like I really no other intention. I just thought that she was a person that needed a hug, and I gave her a hug, and we added on WeChat, like WhatsApp, and months later, like we broke up, like the girlfriend at the time and I, and she contacted me again. She invited me for coffee. We had like a nice conversation, and she confessed to me that she really needed a hug. She's like, oh, actually, yes, I did need a hug. I was new in town. I was so nervous, and she just gave me a hug, and I was like, oh, okay. That's cute. And I have such a bad memory. I cannot remember people like very well. And but her, she was like in my mind. Like I remember what she was wearing. I remember everything. So after that coffee and talking, get to know more, like we started like dating. Like going dinners, going to the parks. She's a biologist, so she's very into seeing birds, going to rescue turtles. And I am definitely not a biologist. So I was like, I mean, I think she liked me when she asked me, "Do you know what color are turtles?" And I say green. And she said, "None of the turtles in the world are green." So I'm like, okay. So we went out, which is great. And we've been together since then.
And so, do you have any specific plans or timeline and goals that you hope you'll be able to get married?
No, to be honest, no. No, we got engaged last year in October. Uh, it was just me and her, like nothing really going on around. Our friends were stuck outside of China, at least the close ones. And a lot of people ask, like, "Oh, when are you getting married?" I'm like, we just really don't know because, well, first I really want her to go to Mexico and meet my family officially. So far she's just a photo and sometimes video. So I want her to be more real for them. uh, Also, she can know where I come from, like she can taste the food. She's amazing. She's very open-minded with culture. She already loves the idea that she's going to go to Mexico and eat a lot of tacos. And so I want her to go. We also need to go to Canada. We need to go to the States. There's other family members of her that she wants me to meet before it happens, like before we can get married. But just we don't know when we can travel, right? Like we just don't know when can this happen, and when it's happened, how we're gonna get married, where we're gonna get married, like what paperwork do we need to do. As a Mexican, it's not as easy anymore to neither migrate to the States or to Canada, even though there are a lot of agreements. It's just not as easy to get a like spouse visa in any case. And vice versa. I thought it would be easier if you like for her to get something in Mexico, but actually it's not. It's just worldwide. It seems that has become more and more difficult for those that we are like international citizens. So even paperwork is going to take a long time. Like we already doing like a file because we need to record our relationship and prove our relationship is real for at least 2 years. So we need to prove to the government that we actually want to be together in one point. No matter the government, either American, Canadian, Mexican, like we need to prove to them that we're not like scamming or something. So it's just difficult to predict the timeline. Everybody wants to go back, like Juliet's family, my family, but I'm like, guys, like we just don't know. We just really don't know. But when it happens, it will be great. So we're
Mhm.
together. That's what is important.
Mhm.
So I can wait. I don't have a rush.
Yeah.
Some people already tell her like, "That's my wife," and they're oh, okay.
Right. The paperwork will happen eventually when it can.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a paper. To me, it's just a paper. It is important to get married for sure. There are a lot of things that I want her to have an opinion on, right? Like I want her to have a voice. Like it's like giving her a voice in my life, getting married. Uh, she right now has this voice with me, but if something happens to me, she doesn't have a voice for the rest of the world, right?
Mhm.
Because it's just not my wife. So if we go back to Canada or USA and we get married, she will have that voice of deciding because she knows me best, right?
Mhm.
If something happens to me and I'm in the hospital or whatever, they can come to her and she can have the right to say like, no, this is what Laura actually wants. Even for my family, like some of my family are like very religious, and if something happens and they want to decide something according to their tradition, and she knows that maybe I wouldn't be okay with that or I wouldn't agree with it, she will be able to say no. But if we don't get married, then by law, though that people will have more of a right than she will, even though she is the person that has been with me all this time.
Mhm.
So I want to give her that voice.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. Now, you keep mentioning Canada. So, like,
Yes.
what's up with Canada?
Well, because we're debating to see where we're going, either the States or Canada. Like we're still like thinking about moving to which country we're gonna move. She has her sister there in Montreal. I've been in Canada as well. I like it. We have some friends from there, and it seems like a cool place. Like I'm still thinking that they're like just full of hippies, but but it's like so relaxed. I like the cold weather, so
Mhm.
we're thinking about moving there, maybe in the future, but in 3 years from now, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
All of the states, like, Oregon is great. Colorado seems to be okay. I want to see these places before we decide. That's why I'm like, okay, we need to travel first. I don't want to move to a place that I haven't been there. Like, what if I don't like it? Like, I'm not 24 anymore. Like, when you're 24 and they say, let's go here, and you're like, sure, like, I never been there, let's go. But there is one point where you just want more stability, and you want to know what's going on, so you can prepare yourself.
Mhm. So, what sort of places have you been across the world?
Well, France, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, uh, Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Philippines, South Korea, Japan. But Japan just like very, very mild. What was the last place I was? Oh, my favorite. I was in Tibet. I was in Tibet, in Lhasa, in the capital, and I went to the Mount Everest as well. Like, I'm not a sport person. I was just in the base. I was just in the base. Thailand as well. I played soccer in a tournament in Thailand. It was very fun. So I haven't traveled as much as I would like to, but I still had the chance to do it more than probably other people have. Very, very fun.
So, what took you to some of those places?
I'm a big fan of food. I like food. So I choose places where I think that food I will like it. I was like, oh, I want to try that. Like, I want to go to other places as well because of food. Like, I would like to go to South Africa. Uh, Also, spicy food in Asia. If I travel in Asia, I really try to find like spicy food because they eat spicy food in Asia. So I just want to go and try the food. Others is because they have iconic things. Like, if you go to Indonesia, you want to go and you want to go to Bali, right? Like, it's so
Mhm.
famous. If you go to Thailand, you want to go to the wet market, like to the river markets. You want to see these things. I mean, Tibet. To be honest, I saw the movie 7 Years in Tibet, and that's when I was like, I want to go, and I finally went. For me, the Everest, the mount, was a dream come true. It was one of the most beautiful places I've seen. I mean, Europe, I always was fascinated with like the history. Like, we study like these kind of things in school back in Mexico. So I just wanted to see things that I read in books. So that's why I went to few of these places. Like, seeing the sunrise in the Mount Everest is just like, wow. I can't even describe it.
Mhm.
Or seeing the sunset in the quiet waters of the Pacific in Indonesia is just like, wow. Sometimes I cannot even imagine, like, this is my life. Like, oh wow, I have the chance to see these things. It's just it's just overwhelming sometimes.
So, what has it been like for the last year and a half not being able to travel?
Actually, not that bad. Not traveling hasn't been that bad, but definitely not being able to go home and see your family. That's the hard part. Uh, when I came back to China, I was in Mexico when COVID outbreak happened, and then I announced it. I was taking a break from everything, from work, from the culture, from everything. I just needed a break, and the best place to take a break is in your parents' house, to be honest. So I was in my mom's house, and I was meditating, I was eating, I was like waking up late, I was like just doing my own thing, and suddenly the news broke, and I was with a job at the time because I ended up leaving the company that I helped to found, and I was like, okay, this is not working for me. I need this break. And I was like, oh my God, all my plans are ruined because I was planning to study a master, take a break for maybe a year and a half. And I said, oh, I have enough savings. It's okay. Like, it will be fine. And then when everything happened, I was in Mexico, and I have this rush of anxiety because my whole life was in China for like 10 years. And my girlfriend was in the States, so we were also apart. So it's like, oh my God, we will see her, we will not see her each other. Like, what's going to happen? So one day we talk over the phone, and I said like, okay, I'm just going to go. I'm gonna see what's happening. I said, and you wait, like you go like a few days after, and I will tell you how it is the situation. Like if it's not okay, I will arrange all our stuff. Like I will, you know, leave the apartment, take our important documents because we have like important documents as well. Take our cats, and I'll go back to the States. Like I will go back like to you. But I actually came, and it was not even though it was very surreal, and I did freaked out the first night because it was all quiet, like a kind of dystopian future. I thought for a moment that it was the biggest mistake of my life coming back. I calmed down, like I start talking to my friends that were here, and they were like, no, don't worry, like it's getting under control. I finally called Juliet, and I said, okay, you can come, you can go. And we stay here. We never imagined that 2 weeks later, the country will announce that nobody else was allowed. It was completely shock. It was heartbreaking because Juliet, for example, used to go home every 6 months, and see family. I used to go back every year. And that's the difficult part, like not being able to know when I will, go home and see my mother, my cousins, or when Julia will go and see her parents, especially when you have like grandparents that are like, old, and you don't know when you will see them, or if you will be there for important moments, of what if they get sick and you're not there. So that was the stressful part. That's the part that is the hardest. Yeah, for sure.
And how is it when you talk to your mom or other family members, like how do you handle the time zone?
Well, I usually call them I am a morning person, so I call them in the morning because we have like 13 hours apart. Yeah, I think 13 hours. So it's night for them, it's morning for me. And Juliet calls them. They are in Oregon, so the time difference is not as big. I think it's like 8 or 10 hours. So she can be a little bit later in the day. Probably she will call them later today. So we she does it like once a week. I do it like every day because in my weekends I rather just focus on me. So we do keep in touch, especially now we do it more. Like we keep each other like more informed of what's happening. uh, so it's thank you for technology. I mean, I'm a kid from no internet, so I'm a kid when like internet sounded like tick, 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 on the phone. So now I'm like, wow. Even when I came to China, calling my mother was like a huge problem. Like I needed to get a card, and that card was like $10, and it would last like 5 minutes. The phone call, it was like such a problem, and that was the cheap way. So now I can talk to her like for 40 minutes, and it's on internet, and I don't really spend much money, just my monthly fee of my internet. So thank you for technology in that sense.
Yes, definitely. Technology has opened up so many different things, especially in this past year.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like we can. I mean, we can meet people from other places, right? And also we can like keep in touch with the people that we care about. That I do say it like I'm a person that advocates for don't spend too much time on your smartphone. But when you are so far and you are like having family in other places, especially in different time zones, it's kind of difficult to just be like, oh, I don't have my phone for 2 days. It's like no, like you can just do that.
So, what else would you like to talk about and share with your story?
Well, I guess for me, the one core thing that for me is important, and it has been important here, is about equality. It's something that I've been trying to be advocate here, and not just equality for some. Like when we talk about equality, I want to talk about equality for everybody. Like no matter if we're different, no matter if maybe you like green and like blue, like I want to be equal. Well, we're trying to be equal no matter who you are and no matter where you're from and no matter your gender, no matter your like or sexual orientation, no matter your religion, no matter any of that. Like so one of the things that I've been trying to do with my work at the company that I work for and the things that I'm building up myself, right? Like is that I'm really trying to be more open in acceptance. For example, I'm gonna host next week to celebrate Pride. We're gonna host here in my city the first Shenzhen stories from queer people. So we're gonna be able to open up to a bunch of strangers that they can be from anywhere and be honest about our lives and make it more normalized in the sense of like I want to talk, for example, about how I went to the wrong restaurant one day and I just happened to be gay. So I feel like if we talk about our daily lives and how we struggle the same things as any other person will struggle, that is when we make it normal. That's when we make it more equal. And I want to do this, I want to do this not just for queer people, I want to do this for any other kind of people that feel that they might not be understood just because they don't look or behave the way that it's supposed to behave. So that's what being in China and being traveling and being queer and being in Asia has taught me that equality is not just my equality, it's really being equal with everybody. Like there are things that I don't agree with, but it doesn't mean I shouldn't respect it, right? Like, or maybe I just don't understand them. Maybe I should make a bigger effort. So that's something that definitely being here has taught me. Juliet, she has taught me a lot about being more respectful as well, uh, more aware of privilege as well. Like not just coming from. I mean, I'm from Mexico, but I was a privileged person in Mexico, so becoming more aware of that. Also, the fact that I can travel more than other people probably. So instead of maybe showing it off, sharing probably what I have learned. So definitely that's something that has stuck with me and from the people that I've met through my life here. So especially women, a lot of empowerment from women, to be honest, in all aspects of my life, in as a queer person, as a business person, as a Latin American, as a brown person, as a everything. Women have huge impact in me, starting from my mother to my best friends that are like advocates of education to my future wife that also is like an amazing biologist, like she's like advocate for nature and it's like let's go and rescue turtles in the beach. so so definitely I can summarize all of those experience into that one word: equality.
And what do you think other people can do to help realize that equality is for all?
That's a tricky question, huh? That's a tricky one. Oh my god, I hope I could have the right answer for that one. I don't think I have it, but if I could like reach somebody and say like you need to see that equality is for everybody, I will say teach empathy. Like really, let's have sympathy and empathy classes in our in our schools, because no matter if you're in USA, Europe, Singapore, which is like number one in education, we don't have classes that will tell you how you're supposed to feel, how you're supposed to behave towards another human being that might not be like you. And empathy comes from that. Like if you can just for a moment try to understand what the other person is feeling or thinking, of if they're hurt, if they're happy, I think that's when you understand that maybe I shouldn't behave this way, or maybe it could be better. Like it's not okay to say somebody, oh, follow the rules, and you don't follow them. But how is that equal, man?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying we're the same. I'm just saying we should have the same. I mean, my freedom should not take away your rights, right? Like, we should have the same chances, at least,
Mm-hmm.
to be okay, to have our necessities covered, like have a home where to be, to education, have like be healthy,
Mm-hmm.
like empathy, be empathetic. Try for a moment to think, or to feel like, how will you feel if this is happening to you? Will you be okay with it? Will you behave this way? Will you react this way? And maybe you will learn that you can be better.
Yeah, I think that's some great advice and can really help just kind of make people realize, like, because part of being empathetic is just realizing how you're acting as yourself. So therefore, then relating that to other people, I think that's really great.
Yeah, for sure. Like, when you say something mean to somebody, it's like, will I like it? Like, how did I make this person feel? We become very self-centered. I feel like we are in a modern society right now, and I see it in my younger cousins, for example. They are becoming more and more self-centered. Like, this instant gratification comes to, like, I can do this, and I am, therefore this should be like this, like, just because of who I am, or just because of how I look. And no, we are not. I don't think we're naturally one individual society. We are a community. We do have the sense of connection. We look for connection, and that connection should, just by the fact that we want to connect with others, should give us the clue that we need to understand others. Communication, for example, is important. That's something that my team, that people from all over the world, they come to me and they're like, "What will you advise me?" Or when I do interviews, they ask me, "What is my biggest challenge?" And, like, in the job, and I said, "Communication, guys. Communication. You have to learn how to send your message. What are you trying to say? Is this person listening to you? Like, see how they react. Like, because sometimes we just talk, but we don't communicate. It's like, I've seen so many people, like, they just say, "Oh, I believe this." I mean, did you realize how you say that? Like, it's probably you could improve. So today is when we are stuck in a box of 100 characters about, we should learn how to communicate and give that message out, and probably we will understand that, oh, maybe this person actually had the right to be offended. Was my mistake because I didn't communicate correctly? Yeah, no, probably. Most likely, actually. If somebody got offended with your words, I'm pretty sure 80% of the reason is because you didn't communicate correctly. The rest is because they didn't read. I noticed that a lot of people also don't read a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So communication is also very important. It's a skill that we need to learn.
Yes, communication should be part of that life skills 101 class that we all needed.
For sure, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no questions asked. It's like, do you want to learn communication? Go. Because, man, so many mistakes can be avoided. Even when you speak your own language, you can have so many misunderstandings. Imagine when you speak with people from another culture, from another language,
Mm-hmm.
that they're speaking in English to you as a second language.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of messages can be like this, like, can be lost just in the fact that we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we should learn to communicate, not just in our own language.
Yes, definitely. So, with all of my guests, before I close it out, I ask a random question.
Mm-hmm.
And so, my question for you, only sort of random this time, is going to be, since you travel for food, what is your favorite food?
Oh, that's, oh my god, that's, I cannot. It's food. Food. My favorite food is food. I just can't decide, man. Like, if you go to South Korea, have a great ramen. Like, I just can't decide. Everywhere I've been, they have amazing amazing dishes. Like I cannot decide. Like I guess some Mexicans will say that I'm a traitor for not saying tacos, but or Mexican food, But honestly, like if you go to Spain and you have a great paella, or if you go to Italy and you have like an actual real pizza, it's a game changer. So I cannot decide. So my favorite food is food.
All right, that brings this episode to a close. So, as usual, I will be leaving all of the podcast information in the description. So, the website will bring you to Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. So, go feel free to like our pages and continue to follow the podcast because every episode is so different. So, I'd love to have you hear even more of them beyond just this one episode. And if you would like to be a guest on the episode, my email is always open, so feel free to connect with me. I'm always loving to hear from new guests, and whenever I get to have guests from different time zones, it's always a lot of fun. So thank you, Laura, so much for spending time with me today, and to my listeners for taking the time out of your day to hear a new story. Until next week, bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.